Everybody, thanks for listening. I just wanted to say that I know some people have seen this article, maybe not many. They're not aware. Some probably are aware. There were some people that were talking on social media about some of the girls that were missing in Washington, D.C. That doesn't surprise me. I didn't really say very much about it because I felt like there's not enough respect for black females, period, and there's no care. There is not enough outpour. I mean, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of outpour, a lot of protests for black males who have been gunned down by police, which is valid, but there are also black females who are the mothers, the sisters, the cousins, the aunties, and the girlfriends and the helpmeets of these same males. And so whenever something happens to black females, there's not enough support in rallying around the protesting of missing black females when something happens. You always see these articles, and there's short articles about black females, but not enough articles are out there. And if they are, it's like, oh, okay, we couldn't find this person. And then when they do, if they do come across that person, if they do, it's like the person's already gone, they're dead, it's a mystery. We just had something that happened in a hotel in Chicago with a young lady where her body was found in the freezer, and they're still wondering if that was somebody that set that whole thing up. And so, which brings me to this article that I was thinking about that happened right here in LA, California. This young lady I'm about to talk about, her name was Mitrice Richardson. She was 24 years old. She was a secretary from South Central Los Angeles. She had been missing for 2 weeks. They give her description of her height and how she looked. They said she had, a few tattoos on her neck and on her lower abdomen. She was wearing a black top, black jeans. So they give the description. They said around like 1:25 a.m. on a Thursday, September 17, 2009, she was leaving Malibu, Lost Hills police station in Calabasas, California. So there was a reward for 10,000. That was what was put out. So the parents were complaining. They left their number, the mother and the father, saying if you know anything personally, please call them, because they felt like the police weren't doing enough to aid in the search for their daughter. So the other article I was looking at was when the initial, I guess, APB was put out that the woman was missing. It said a young black woman by the name of Mitrice Richardson in LA had gone missing after not paying her tab at an upscale Malibu restaurant. She ate at the restaurant, could not pay the $89. The authorities were called, and then they had immediately arrested her and put her in custody for non-payment. So what happened after that, they claims a mystery. The police say that she was under the influence of something, and that they had offered her a place to stay, but she declined. And according to the police, she was given an option to stay at the police lobby until she felt a little bit better, but she declined, is what the police said. But once she left the sheriff's office, she was never seen again. So the father, he demanded more answers, because he said he believes the cops should have gave her the place to sleep if she was so intoxicated, as they say, so she could leave the station in her right mind, knowing that her parents could pick her up, of course. So they had left a number down there about the whereabouts of this female. But later in that article, the last article that I had looked at that gave more of a description of her, it said that August 9, 2010, nearly a year after this girl had disappeared, they found her skeletal remains. They were found in Malibu Canyon. So this brings me to this whole thing right here. You're going to see a photo of this girl. She's a beautiful young black female, 25 years of age. And so they find the skeletal remains a year later in the Malibu Canyon, August 9, 2010. So that should tell you right there. And if we have black men that are being gunned down by the police, and a lot of people are being able to walk away from this, what do you think is happening to the black females when they wind up missing? So I just wanted to put that out there. This young girl, somebody obviously knew something. And there are a lot of unanswered questions as to what happened after she was at that police station and who did it. And if she was intoxicated and they claimed they offered her a place to stay and she refused, why would in the world would police officers allow a young lady that's intoxicated to just sit out there drunk out of her mind under the influence with no way to get home? And then if the parents called them and said they were coming, why didn't they tell the parents that they were going to release her? So there's a lot of unanswered questions about that, which makes you wonder if the police had some kind of involvement, that maybe she was in a situation where she was around some corrupt cops. So there's a lot of answers that we could come up with, and a lot of questions we could come up with that won't fully answer all of the questions. So I'm just saying this to say that there's not enough outpour around African American females, African American women, when an incident like this, such as this, occurs. There are other incidences that occur, like police brutality is one, black females getting shot by the police, and this one right here, a lot of missing black females and black teenagers, a lot of women that are abducted or they're in abusive relationships. If something happens, you're afraid to come forward. And now we have this sexual harassment stuff. But everybody's willing to listen when there are white females, or when it's a white female listening to her when she's missing. But when it's somebody that is a black female, when she's missing, when she's being beaten up, abused, and there's no outpour, there's no outcry, nobody hears it, nobody cares, nobody seems to care. So it just seems at least not enough people is what I'm saying. There are some people that care, but not as many as it should be. And so that's a problem. And we got all kinds of ugly videos on here talking nasty about black females, so that just tells you what time we are living in. And that's the way it seems like it always is. Every time something bad happens in the family or household of black females, it always seems to be the female's fault. But there's never fingers pointing at, well, where's the father? What did he do? Is he working? Is he trying to stay out of the radar of the police? Is he doing something productive with his life? Or is he chasing white women and posting videos about how he'd rather be with Becky instead of Tyra? So this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with as black females. So I'm just putting that out there to say this, that it's not enough outpour for the black females here in the U.S. And so, well, thanks for listening. Take care.